morning, happy April 18th, 2026, and hello, there we are. Here's how I do my recording. That's good. Here's how I do my recording. It is my phone with, interesting. I'm curious what that is. That's that's probably the focus, which would be just able to be picked up by the camera. But much like when you look at something like well, I should tell you. Yeah, that percent there sometimes that'll flicker. It doesn't show flickering on my camera right now, but it probably does in the actual edit. But yeah, so I got back first here's the cat tax. I got back the bricks from my sorter, and he's done quite an excellent job with. He'd asked what he could do as he does the B sort in order to just make life a little bit easier. And I said, well, you could color sort some of the bits. If you find that there's a large amount of a certain color, you can, color sort those. I don't need him to do, like, for instance, in here, I mean, there's probably less than 20 of any color. So I don't need that color sorted. That's easy enough for me to separate out. But like the 1x2s, for instance, which I've already processed, there's some of them that had almost over 100 of a certain color. So him going through and doing that certainly helps save a lot of time, and for which I am very grateful. Always such a hard life being a little sleeper. Yeah, little buddy. Nope. To make it look like I abused my cat. There we go. Like, I swear he likes it when I pet him. So yeah, lots of that. And he's even sorted out the light grays from the light bluish grays into separate bags, and any dark blue gray also. So I've been very impressed with his color identification. Oh, hello. Ow. Trim your nails. Yeah, I've gotten all the longer 1x2 bricks in now. I just finished the 1x6s. So I'm down to this bag of 2x6, and then everything else is on the smaller end. Like, there's a whole bunch of 2x2s, lots of 2x2s in here, 2x4s. And this bag we had already talked about. He just kind of missed the splitting this into more of the individual elements, because it was a B sort that he was doing. But anyhow, I've added a couple, probably 1,000, 2,000 bricks so far, from just 1x2s and the long 1x pieces. I think that's been it so far. These all need to go into their home. These are all ones that are damaged or have discoloration issues, most of which, that one's kind of weird schmutz on it. Could I clean that off? Possibly. Is it worth cleaning off for 34 cents? Probably not. These are all ones that have like some discoloration, or they are, Mega Blocks or whatever off brand. I'm going to take these to the library because they have a Lego club there, and I'm going to donate those, because while Bricklink buyers might have an issue with a piece that's got some bite marks, a few. If there's something that's really chewed up, I just bin it. But for something that might have like a couple of little bites, or just a slight bit of discoloration, or like just extra wear, like there's that little, the camera will focus, but there's that little bit of a pencil or something on the side there, something where I don't feel right putting it in the store. That's got some decent scratching down the side of it. You can see more readily in person. But a kid's not going to care about that at building Lego for fun at the library. So here's one that's got, there's some bite marks on the end or whatever, but not too bad to build with. if you're a kid, but less so if you're buying used brick. There's some stuff there in the reflection you can see. Technically not the reflection, the specular. Anyhow, I guess it's reflection. Sorry, I'm getting technical with my 3D. So yeah, carrying on with all of that. Got the, like I said, the 2x6 left to go, and then more beyond. There was something I was going to talk about. Oh, right. So, as you have probably noticed, Ninjago figures are skyrocketing in price. Partly because of the 25th anniversary, partly because people are doing some amount of speculation, stuff like that. So I have this whole group of figures and stuff that I have yet to process, obviously. And then just picking things up, realize that there's some, probably not in this bag, that I have some of the older, Doug's pushing the chair. Some of the Ninjago, and I, like, okay, let's take a look at what else is in here. And of course, now I'm not seeing anything of great importance. After planning to talk about this, maybe you're seeing it, and I'm just feeling blind right now. But there was. Why am I not seeing any Ninjago right now? Right in this moment that I'm trying to talk about it. That is pretty funny. I definitely saw some. I mean, there's like a torso there. But yeah, there's some Ninjago guys in here. There's some. But yeah, so definitely some stuff to go through. There's one of the villains there. It's beneath here. There's a torso down there. Yeah, I'm just blind as a bat. There's a couple pieces here and there. But anyhow, there's some decent Ninjago stuff in here that I just came to realize, and so I need to actually go through and process these, go through, try to see if there's things that I can complete and ride the Ninjago wave. There's the green one down there and the white one. I don't know offhand if those are ones that are particularly valuable or not. I'm sure some of you are seeing it and either screaming at me that I'm an idiot for not processing this immediately, or that it's all worthless. But it's worthless. Send it to me, Jordan. Anyhow, that's something I need to put on my plate in the sooner rather than the later. Trying to get through the bulk brick. Part of the reason being is, let's pull up Bricklink. Well, we are sitting nicely at 15,382 lots, and we're getting to almost 300,000 parts. Obviously, this isn't going to set me over 300,000 with just the bricks here, but I think, especially with that whole tub of used, we should definitely cross the 300,000 threshold mark. There's at least 30,000 parts, I would think, or 20,000 parts, I should say. In all of these, there's at least, I'm going to venture another 1,000 or so parts just in these bricks here, and then a couple of other, I'll send the wedge plates, the modified bricks, and the round stuff over to my sorter guy next. Rounds being this kind of stuff. So should definitely be adding a lot more parts to that. The tricky part about all of this is while I have lots of drawer space, these things like, this is obviously far too much for a drawer, and I don't like putting large bricks inside of drawers if I can avoid it. I have about half those left to go. I've been starting to fill up this one. Most of these, like these 2x12, 2x10, 2x10 ones, they were in they were a sub bag in another bin. They were too much for that, so now they're over here and they have their own bag. 1x16s again. Also, we're in a sub bag and now they're over. So I could double stack these for sure and be able to get some more room. Considering all of my bricks are basically, there's a few in here, but not enough to worry about. But all of my bricks are now amongst these, and I'm not like a parts store so much. I try to do a bit more in the figures kind of thing to take advantage of the limited space that I have, because parts take up a lot of space. But there's a whole bunch of 2x2s there, and you can see right here I've got some, oh never mind, those are slopes, but I am going to be quickly running out of bulk space for things. There's a bit of room in these bottom ones, but I think these are more or less full or close to being full. Unsurprisingly, as I've been constantly battling, is things fill up quickly. So there will be a need eventually to take over this space, potentially moving all of my bulk out of this office area, and I could get some more of these. I'm pretty sure that 4 wide will fit along here. I think it would stick out like just a bit, but with these things here, it's not a big deal at all. And that could technically stack, to the ceiling if we wanted, or at least close to it. I got to look up like if it affects the bottom drawers at all, being able to get out when you have that much above it. But I am also hurt for flat space. That's something that I've been, dealing with, of course, both before the switch over and especially now afterwards, that I don't have like that long shelf that when I part out a set and I have all those drawers of excess that need to be filtered down, there's a lack of that kind of stuff. So it's trickier and trickier without the flat stuff. So I have like this little section here. Here's drawers that I'm processing that need to be processed. Like all of these round things, they stick out too much, so I need to get those out. And I just did a bunch of 1x6 light gray that I only had a couple in this drawer, but they're not gonna. All these aren't gonna fit, so I got to find them a new home, which could easily be one of these. Anyhow, constantly fighting with running out of space. So eventually that table is probably going to have to go and put up some stacks of stuff there. I think will be ultimately the way to go, because I could get, there's 24 drawers here, and they all hold a decent amount. So I could theoretically do another stack of 3 on top of those, so that'd be 36 of those style. Could go here, or another tower like that could go there. I could even get another, row on this side, because it would stick out about here, which would fit this wall, because this is shorter than that wall. Anyhow, just bulk thoughts as we go further in the future and how to further utilize this space. I think I like these ultimately for this area. Those are good too. I like them. But I think in this spot, it'll be better to do something like that. Regardless, hopefully that still is a little ways off, and I'll try to utilize space as I have it. Because the thought is eventually running these down this wall, so those are all going to have to go away. But it might be best to limit the plans for these to maybe like one other grouping of two of those. I could push these things down and take up basically this space because there's just really nothing happening with this right now. There's just like random more tires and airplane parts and just like some random other things that came from other sorts or purchases. Like that big blue tub that used to be in here, some of it's from that. So yeah, be able to put in one more of these double wide, so that would be 20 more acro just in here without really having to rethink all of this. But yeah, I mean, there's like no room back there for anything, so that's pretty much a lost cause. I could, redo the shelf thing. It holds a lot of art supplies. So technically, yes, that could be replaced with something else, but realistically, there's not a whole lot of space gain with that idea. That's a utility closet where the water heater and furnace are. There's a shelf in there with some box sets that I don't know if I've shown before, but it's just a random shelf with some box sets that are listed. But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. You can take that down, sell it or trash it or whatever, and something could go there. I could extend that 3-unit up, or I could put in some amount of shelves. It's, it would crowd the desk even more than it is, so I'm not super fond of that idea. Obviously, the day job is animation, so I can't, I'm not going to get rid of the desk, the monitor, stuff like that I use daily for, supporting the actual family while the Lego store builds. Yeah, see how it all goes. Regardless, next two things on the list: process the bricks, process through figures. I might take a break from bricks now that I finished 1x6s and start looking through the figures. Technically, it's probably going to be the more financial use of my time to at least go through and get the Ninjago stuff out and then come back to the bricks to continue fleshing that out. There was a recent study. I forget who did it. Forgive me if I can remember to do so. I'll put a link down below or reference it. But it basically was a study of I think all the Bricklink stores, like 24,000 Bricklink stores. And hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so Julian Mon, I don't know if his name is on here. He posts on Facebook groups, so I'm gonna say his name and hopefully no one will be upset about it. But anyhow, he's the guy that recently bought Brickseller Hub from Keith, who created Brickseller Hub and was a brick store in the UK for a long time. So Julian, I think, started with Mock Tracker and then expanded. So it's track trending mocks. There's some issues he's mentioned where rebrickable, Mock Tracks no longer operate. Rebrickable did not like them basically scrubbing the data in order to do it. So that's unfortunate because I think it was like being able to track mocks and stuff like that. Hence Mock Tracker. Anyhow, there's brickpack inventory, or I don't know who maintains it or figures it out, or if it's just fan sourced, but basically you have a random bag, or you're missing a bag, what's going to be in each bag in a set, which is not something that is hand verified inventories. It's not something that is easily found. So however he went about doing it, it's filling a niche that was missing. Obviously Brickseller Hub, and he bought it and made it free, so you're able to buy and sell stores or like parts of stores and whatnot But the more recent thing is the Bricklink metrics, which is a whole host of things, and has a subscription that I'm not currently in, but I have been considering it. But it basically tells you, it gives you pricing on stuff. It gives you, I'm curious, I haven't looked into it enough, so I'm not going to speak on it. But there's the site here, tells you enough. There's a demo video, etc. But one of the things he just recently released was this whole study. How many lots do you need to get? You really need to get regular Bricklink orders. I really appreciated the article. I thought it was great. Lots of information about, like, I think he basically he said, where is it? Bricklink Metrics tracks more than 24,000 Bricklink stores every single day. So and he's been doing it for over a year. 24,000 Bricklink stores, I think, is how many Bricklink stores there are, or at least close to it. It could be all of Bricklink. I'm not 100% sure. I know in USA, there's floats around 6,000 stores, so 24,000 stores across the world makes sense to me. But basically, lots of data on, how lot count affects your orders per day, how like how many items you have. So if you have 100,000 to 500,000 parts, but you only have that across 5,000 lots, then your order frequency drops way down. But if you get up to 25,000 lots or even 10,000 plus lots, then you're more than doubling or even tripling how much, 2.5 times how many orders you get, and that's based off of hard data from the last year. Then obviously the big stores likely see around 8 orders a day when you have over 500,000 parts plus 25,000 lots. So that's all of your big stores, So what I'm trying to do, I bring this up now because what I'm trying to do is push my parts up, the amount of parts that I have, and while maintaining high lots, having over 15,000 lots already puts me in this kind of range. And looking real quick, my insights, inventory, sales insights. If we look at, if we just look at this year, I'm not going to try to give too much information away, but that's how many orders I have this year, which is, I know there are stores and such that have far more than that, but average 2 per day. And per the metrics, with the right tab, for the metrics, I'm in this range, and I'm in right there. So I am right about where the average is. So if I can look to push my parts higher, this is the 100,000, 500,000 range. I'm almost at 300. So if I can keep pushing the parts higher while maintaining lots and pushing lots, then I can get into that 3 to 4 range. So yeah, that's the current goal. It's something I've noticed. I noticed long ago when I was starting to plan out stuff for the store, that, because I made a whole spreadsheet of how much money I needed to make at the store to make it a self-sustaining, like where it could not just sustain the store, but sustain my family. And as I was doing the research for that, there was people that were talking on the Bricklink Discord groups and Facebook groups and such, and they were fortunately sharing like their annual revenue, and they were sharing their their part counts, and where you could look that up too if you know their stores. And from that information, was able to ascertain that it's not a linear scale. So if you have 100,000 part store and you're making, say, $500 a month, 200,000 part store doesn't go to 1,000; it goes beyond that, and that it starts to grow exponentially, which is something you see from these kinds of graphs, that it's not just a straight line. It's not even, if you look at it from this perspective, it's not even a straight line past 5,000 parts. Suddenly there's, the straight line would be here, but you get this bell curve, essentially this exponential jump. So looking to push into that, people stores that have over 50,000 lots are usually double and tripling up their lots, or they haven't done a very good job consolidating. Not everyone, but most of them that I've seen. But the 25 or the 15 to 50,000 lots are meaningfully the same as far as 85 to 91% of those stores getting at least one order per day. So high lot count, I'm right at the baseline of here, and I do, as we start seeing, get at least one order a day average throughout 2026. But being able to push parts amount, the dollar amount frequency goes up, or the dollar amount per order goes up, the order frequency goes up. It's all those things that help to meaningfully raise revenue. That being able to, as Pops has said for years and others have said for years, upload more literally does increase your sales more than in a non-linear way, in an exponential way. I feel like I said the same thing 4 different ways, but anyhow, part of the reason why I'm doing basic stuff like uploading a bunch of bricks is that that works into the they have a strategy where I'm sure it's a team, but Julian is the name that I know from seeing things. He has like a multi-phase, 6-phase thing. So, phase 1, get to 10,000 lots of any depth. Like if you have 10,000 one item lots, kind of thing. Then deepen that to 15 to 20 items per lot. I think I'm somewhere around, we can just do the math. Where's my other tab? Yeah. We just do basic math of 279, 843 divided by 15, 382. So I'm at 18 parts per lot, roughly. So I'm right in this range. I am in phase 3, grow 15,000 lots at that, so I'm good there. So deep into 25 to 35 items per lot is where I am now. Obviously, you're not going to have 25 of, a phase 1 Spider-Man that's worth $80 to $100, but being able to have a broad range of things with some of the parts, lots of density there, that boost your orders to the 2.5, 3 orders per day. And I'm also, and in that process of uploading this stuff, I'm adding new lots of bricks. Like I didn't have 1x6 used black bricks for whatever reason, but now I do. I have like 30 of them. So I'm hitting that this exactly the 25 to 35 items per lot and growing to the 20,000 lots. So it's just slowly but surely in the little space that I've got pushing through these phases. I'm not going to be able to get to a 40 to 50 items with 20,000 lots in here. There's just not the space physically to do it. But I am quite thrilled with my new drawer capability. I have the ability to add in another row without really too much rethinking of the space. But I mean, this thing's mostly empty right now, so there's plenty of room to go to fill this up. And I think there's room on the back side of it as well, and room on the 3 column, which is the first pull out and facing us. So lots of room currently, at least for a lot of the smaller stuff, but the bulk bricks are going to be the largest space takers. Beyond that, there's bulk plates, not as much, but Then there's a lot of the modified stuff that's being sorted now. Those will easily go in these bigger drawers and stuff like that. I feel like I've entered rambly territory, so I'm going to spare you all now. Yeah, it's getting close to, well, today it's just me and my kiddo. My partner and my youngest went to a Girl Scouts camporee, of which my dear partner is taking quite a mental sacrifice for that. It seems like it's quite a lot for the parents that are involved. And then kiddo didn't seem to be able to get to sleep too well at the cabin there. So I'm not sure how things are going to be when they get home tomorrow. It's currently Saturday morning. So I'm sorry to her, my partner. But today, my oldest, who turned 11 a few days ago, and I are going to go to Six Flags for her first time at Six Flags. So that'll be pretty cool. She's mentioned it a couple times, and so I got season passes for the summer for the two of us, and I like Six Flags, though I probably will need to take some Dramamine, because last time I went and rode a couple roller coasters, I remember getting decently nauseous. So hopefully the Dramamine will cut that. Anyhow, random stuff with Jordan time, but thank you for watching. I think that will be it for the here and the now. Have yourselves a lovely day, and yeah, feel free to comment and give your thoughts and opinions. I always enjoy reading whatever you leave for me, and we will carry on through the day. I feel like I should probably film more like talking rather than you see my hand in my knee, but whatever. Have a good one. Now, just gonna order in from Blue Tick Brick, and first off, good morning. Sorry, it is the 19th of April, the day after the last clip, and just got this order in and wanted to show off the packing thereof. Basically, every lot is individually bagged, possibly because that's how they already had it, possibly because it was just easier to pick that way at a certain point. Some actual parts for building figs, some for my little skyline set that I've made, but otherwise I came to this store because they had a massive sale, and one of the shenanigans, I guess, that I like to do from time to time is get a whole bunch of parts that are extremely inexpensive and use them to pad the store. Yes, these can build up and perhaps never sell, but I do sell them from time to time, and it helps to build up the lot count, helps to build up the part count. I know there's a whole, will these parts ever sell? If they don't, then it's just dead weight in your store. But I find there's value in having a large quantity of these, and I've had people order, a massive quantity all at once because I have that quantity available, especially in multiple colors and such. So combining these with other ones that I've already got, kind of thing. So building the stock in that way. They had some great prices on these log profile bricks, and some of the grill tiles. So to some of you, this might look like dead weight. To me, it is opportunity, and because I have a minimum price set at 10 cents per part, these eventually, when they sell, will have quite a significant markup, because most of the times you can get these for a penny or two kind of thing. So they're kind of like long haul filler to me. There is 7,000 something parts, 7,236 parts in this box. And then, like I said, I got some for other purposes. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out the Blue Tick Brick for the way that this order is packed. It's very nice. Looks like it would be very easy to put into the store straight away. I don't plan on counting all of these, but I appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that I didn't really have. There's some, good jumper plates in there too. I think it's all new condition. Yeah. So, to me, it's worthwhile. Will it sit in the store for a long time? Perhaps. But it's good filler to have, and it helps bring in some other orders of people that are looking for a large quantity of things and perhaps don't want to pay shipping from multiple stores, or have to deal with how some of the bigger stores might have the prices for a penny, but then they have other fees, or they might have other things. So regardless, some extra filling for the store, and if I do ever want to discount them, I'm able to, and probably sell them pretty inexpensively, at least what I paid for more. So I'm happy with that, and I'm going to go ahead and get this process, get to the store. This should bump us up a good deal towards that 300,000 mark. Yeah.